Okay, here's a little video here, and it's about YouTube and trolls. Basically, today, and I've had this happen a couple of times, where you'll have somebody leaving you an unpleasant comment on your YouTube channel, regardless of which video it is. And in 9 cases out of 10, that when you go on to click that particular user's channel of themselves, they've usually got no form of picture up. They have no subs, or barely any, and the most importantly, they usually don't have any content on their channel uploaded at all. But yet they'll sit there and they'll criticize other people. Now, let me sit there and start off by saying that that I'm all for criticism, as long as it's constructive criticism. Where in the past, on my early videos, I tended not to speak, and that was more to do with that I don't see myself as being a confident speaker or being able to carry my voice very well, but I do what I have to sit there and do. And I've had people in the past have said to me, look, why don't you speak on some of the videos? So for most videos, most of the videos I'd say I do speak on, but if I'm, say, doing a comic book one, and let's say I'm doing like a 2-minute preview of a comic, of my latest comics that I've purchased, I'm not really gonna sit there and kind of talk about it. So what I tend to do is overlay music over it. But if it's something like an issue that, especially if it's a classic story or an issue that I've loved in the past, then you'll sit there and see me talk about it, and you will see this in the future, which is what I hope to do. But yeah, I've had people say to me, why don't you speak? And then I've implemented that. And as I said before, it's mainly just to do with confidence. And for me, there's loads of other YouTubers who I've seen who speak and are more articulate in terms of the way they're speaking and the way they talk. So for me, it's not kind of it was never my cup of tea in wanting to kind of speak and stuff. So that's why you never saw me actually do it. So now I've started to come out of my own space and then actually do it. Also, things like I don't show my face. Again, it's more of a confidence thing. Again, I've had people mention that. Again, that could change in the future, depending on if I feel more confident and want to do it, or better equipment, so I'm able to do it. So that might change. I've had people sit and say to me in the past, I want to see more gameplay stuff. I want to see more Blu-ray of your Blu-ray collection. I want to see more reviews and stuff like that, and I've done it. So I've implemented ideas that people have told me. But as long as somebody sits there and does it in the right way, you can only listen to the feedback and what you've been told, and then hopefully implement it straight away, or implement it in the future. So that's fine. But again, as I said, when you get people who are just being nasty for no apparent reason, as I said before, trolls, and then they've put no work into their channel in any shape or form, which is something I'm actually going to talk about after we get this little chestnut out of the way. It's kind of a bit, for me, a bit disrespectful when they haven't sit there and made the effort themselves in doing something. I've even had that on, people troll things, and sometimes it can depend on what it is that you've done. So, for example, I've had trolls when I did the unboxing of the Xbox One S, and this is obviously before YouTube disabled the negative, so it was visible. Now you only see the positive, not the negative. I had, generally speaking, more positive outweighed the negative, but you did have 1 or 2 people either marking it down or making remarks. A similar thing happened with the PS5, where I went through that. A similar thing, same thing happened when I did the Xbox Series X. And again, I was expecting to have all those 3 consoles. My nephew helped me out on it, so I know I was fortunate. And you always got to be humble when people sit there and help you out. I'm not one of those ones that is up myself, and I made sure I said that in the actual videos. Themselves. But again, I had negative comments, which is fine. I can put. I've got tough skin, but it's But even when I've disagreed or not, and maybe not liked a particular person's viewpoint on a video, I've never gone out my way to sit there to make a remark towards them. Sometimes there are things that, say if someone's doing a reaction to a TV show in a latest episode, and maybe they've missed something, and I've made a comment saying, oh, that person, this person, etc, 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 and then usually you just get a good comment back because you've kind of added to what they maybe have missed, and that's, for me, is totally fine when you're doing that, because you're not being disrespectful. But I do not understand where sometimes all these people find the time, to go out their way to sit there to be nasty towards other people. I just find it completely and utterly stupid. In my honest opinion, it's similar to thing on, say, on like YouTube or any forms of social media where, people that sit there in the comfort of their home, thinking that they can be nasty or they can bully somebody because they know that they don't have to sit there and face someone in real life. And I find this kind of pathetic, in my honest opinion. And as I said earlier on, I'm all about constructive criticism when it comes to things, as long as it's done in the right manner. So that's my view on trolls. And I just ignore them. I mean, at first it used to bother me when I had the smaller amount of, when my YouTube channel was a lot smaller, it used to bother me a little bit here and there. But then after a while, I mean, I just, I realised, that you can't let it get to you. Even some of the massive YouTubers, I've seen that happen to them as well. And all you can do is just, just carry on and move on. I mean, not give these people the satisfaction of, doing what they're doing. And again, as I said before, I've always stated this from the start, that my channel, my stuff isn't professional like the other YouTubers who I've got, I'll say, slick editing, all the music, whether or not it's like they do it themselves or they pay somebody to do it or not. Some people do, they haven't got the time to get people to edit their stuff. And I've always said, this is at the moment, this is how my channel is at the moment, and I'm hoping that in the future that my channel, when my channel grows and I'm able to get better equipment, you'll see a better production in my videos. So it's something that I strive for in the future. So I'm not going to pretend to be something otherwise. I mean, this leads me on to just what I was saying about trolls and about YouTube channel, is that if you're somebody that wants to be a YouTube creator and wants to share your passions, I would highly recommend consider being a YouTube creator. I mean, you could literally do it on anything. So you could, like, for example, I do it on gaming and obviously on comics and movies and TV shows, but you could do it on anything. Somebody I knew in retail, I was telling them about, I'm doing a YouTube creator, and they said that there was somebody else that they knew that was doing it. And they, in their spare time, they do a lot of painting in their spare time, and then they were thinking about doing a YouTube channel, based on painting. And I said to them, you know what, if it's something that that you're good at, and it's something that you're dedicated and you have a passion in it, do it. Follow your passions. I took a chance before I started up my channel. I was thinking, if and an R and whether or not I should sit there and do a YouTube channel. And then I had a couple of people say to me, you know what, just go out there and do it and try it, you never know. I mean, at first it was difficult because obviously being, you're small and, being noticed by, by people. But even the big YouTubers have to start somewhere, and it takes a lot of time, and a lot of time to get to where you need to be, and a lot of patience. So, and then it's one thing I learned is not to kind of take it too seriously. Do it for fun, and then do it, as if it's a hobby, like it's a passion, rather than sitting there and doing it, like, for example, my end goal is to make money. Start it, because I'll tell you one thing, that when you're doing whatever it is that you choose to do, a lot of these people will sit there and will see the passion that's coming from your videos if you're being 100% genuine. So I said to her, look, if that's what you want to do, you know what, why not set up your own YouTube channel? And what people don't realize, it's pretty easy. Most smartphones, obviously all smartphones have the capacity to record. And all you have to sit there and do is download the YouTube app, and then basically, obviously as long as you've got like a YouTube channel set up, you record your video, whether you do it live or you record it and save it, and then all you have to sit there and do is then just download it, obviously directly to YouTube. It's not a difficult thing, anyone can do it. And as well, you could do it on anything. You could do it on cooking, you can do it, your YouTube channel could be based on painting, it could be on cars, it could be on historical locations across the country or wherever you are in the world. It could be about products, it could be about movie reviews, it could be about music. And then this is the beauty about doing these different kinds of things. So, you know, don't let anybody discourage you if this is something that you want, you know, like you want to do with YouTube, whether and then even if you do get silly little trolls that giving you comments, just realize that these people are just jealous, and they're just trying to bring you down because you're sitting there and trying to do something with your passions. And then obviously they can't stand to sit there and see you putting in or making a shift or making in an effort in terms of what you're trying to do. And as I said, in the early stages of doing YouTube, again, it bothered me, but so when I realise now that, you know, that people, and especially if you're creating things like I even got like video games earlier than, you know, than when they were meant to have come out. I mean, you do an unboxing of it, obviously you can't do a gameplay of it because obviously it's come out early. I've even had people leave nasty comments just because I got a video game early, or you got a special edition version. Like when I got the Resident Evil 2 remake, Villain Tickler cover, I had multiple ask me where I got it from, which was fine. I told them how much it was, but I had some people being nasty just because I got the game early and I got that particular edition of it, and then they didn't. And as I said, it's pretty pathetic if somebody's going to go out of the way and spend their time in doing that. And as I said, I spent all my time before I just started watching other YouTubers do their YouTube channels, and that's kind of what inspired me to want to do YouTube for on my channel, because I wanted to sit there and share my passion. So you've seen things like video games, you've seen my stuff to do with comics and video games and movies and food and drinks and comics and books, and even life, you know, like life stuff that's going on in life and what's going on with politics. And I tend to kind of stay away from that. But things that, you know, that affect the common person in terms of, you know, like, and things that we're all kind of going through. So, you know, and then as my YouTube channel has grown, and then especially when you get the positive comments, it makes you more and more feel more confident to kind of branch out and do things, other things that you normally probably wouldn't have done, because, you know, maybe you don't have the confidence to sit and do it. First of all, with me actually speaking, and now I'm actually starting to do that. I'm feeling more confident where I can talk about everyday things that not just maybe affect me, but affect people as a whole. And I never used to do that before. And it's only because of the confidence and the positivity of the constructive comments that you're getting from YouTube, and obviously the channel growth. You know, it makes you more confident, and it's just nice, you know. It's not about, for me, the amount of subs for me and the amount of views. For me, it's about the actual sharing, like, your passions with other people who share the same things that you do, or maybe they're not maybe completely educated in that particular subject matter, or maybe they're too afraid to talk about that particular subject matter, but then you're talking about it, which then allows people to then, you know, feel like they can express themselves, you know. Because there was a time when many years ago, I'm kind of showing my age, where it wasn't acceptable to be to love comic books, and you get called a nerd and all these things, or same thing with video games. Now it's an everyday thing which everybody is kind of doing that. And then even when one person plays a particular video game, and everyone's own individual experience and the way say like they may stream or do the video is going to be different. So to me, that's just the beauty of doing things like this, where as of all you're able to, you know, share your passion. So if you're somebody that's considering thinking about doing YouTube, I would then say do it. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. Who knows, you may inspire other people like people have inspired me, or there could be a niche market there that's not being represented on YouTube, but then you're doing it. And you know, and worst of all, and then I would say just do it for fun and for passion, and most importantly, just be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else or emulate somebody else. Just be you. And then as I said, you don't need a fancy camera or software or editing. You could just simply just do you know, get a smartphone, get a little hand grip, which you can get for like £5 in some places online or in the shops, and you could sit and then just film like what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, let me like end the video. So yeah, so that's my little video about you know, YouTube and trolls.